Do you know your real worth? Or are you letting life decide for you? The streets of the old city were narrow and winding, filled with whispers of history and forgotten dreams. In a small apartment tucked above a creaking bakery lived Maria, a young girl trying to carve her path amid the faded walls and distant echoes of the past. Life here had always been a test, but Maria was about to face her own turning point. Maria sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the small apartment around her. Bills were stacked on the table. The fridge was almost empty. She worked 2 jobs, gave all her energy, yet every month it felt like she was falling behind. She asked herself a question that burned inside her mind. Do I really know my worth, or am I letting life decide for me? She remembered stories she had read about people who never let their circumstances define them. Oprah Winfrey grew up poor, faced rejection, and yet she became one of the most powerful women in the world. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Maria wanted that. She wanted to believe she could rise above her struggles. That night she took out a notebook and wrote down everything she could do. She wrote about her skills, the small achievements she often ignored, the times she helped others even when she was tired. It was a long list. She saw for the first time that maybe she was stronger than she thought. Her phone buzzed. A message from a company she had applied to months ago appeared on the screen. They said they wanted to see her the next day. Her heart raced. This could be the opportunity she had been waiting for, or it could be another disappointment. She thought about all the times she had doubted herself, the times she had stayed quiet when she had ideas, the times she had walked away because she feared failure. Tonight she decided things would change. She could not let fear control her anymore. She would show the world her value, or at least she would try. Maria spent the rest of the night preparing. She researched the company, wrote down ideas, and practiced what she would say. The apartment was quiet except for the sound of her pen scratching the notebook. For the first time in a long time, she felt a spark of hope. Morning came. Maria dressed in her best clothes and looked in the mirror. Her reflection looked nervous, but determined. She took a deep breath and left her apartment. Every step toward the office felt heavy, but she kept moving. She knew she could not turn back now. When she reached the building, her hands were sweating. She had never felt such fear and excitement at the same time. The receptionist looked at her and smiled politely. Maria handed her documents and waited. Minutes felt like hours. Then she was led into a room where a manager sat behind a large desk. He looked at her and said nothing at first. His eyes studied her like he was trying to see inside her mind. Maria felt her stomach tighten. She could feel the weight of every doubt she had ever had pressing down on her. But she held her head high. Just as she was about to speak, the manager picked up the phone. He dialed a number and said, "We need to see you tomorrow. It is your last chance." The next morning, Maria woke up early. Her mind was restless. She had spent the night thinking about the phone call. This was her chance. She could not waste it. She dressed carefully and checked her appearance in the mirror. She looked nervous, but determined. When she entered the office, the manager greeted her with a nod. The room felt cold and serious. The interview began. The questions were sharp and unexpected. He asked about her experience, her skills, and her failures. Maria paused, thinking of Thomas Edison. He had failed thousands of times, yet he kept going. She could not let one moment of doubt stop her. She answered honestly. She told the manager about her 2 jobs, about the skills she had learned along the way, and about her ideas for the company. She spoke clearly and with confidence. Every word she said felt heavy with her determination. The manager leaned back and frowned. "Are you sure you can handle this?" he asked. His tone was sharp. Maria felt a chill run down her spine. Every doubt she had ever had returned. She could leave, safe in her old routine, or she could fight for what she knew she deserved. She took a deep breath and said, "Yes, I am ready to learn, to work hard, and to prove myself." He remained silent for a moment. Maria could feel her heart pounding. Sweat formed on her palms. The room felt smaller. She looked around and imagined all the people who had told her to settle, who had said she was not enough. She thought of J.K. Rowling, She had been rejected many times, but she never stopped. Maria knew she had to be like her. Then the manager asked a question that made her pause. What makes you different from anyone else who applies for this job? Maria froze. She had rehearsed answers, but now words felt small and useless. She closed her eyes and remembered every struggle, every late night, every time she refused to give up. She opened her eyes and said, I do not give up. I learn from failure. I will give more than anyone expects. The manager tilted his head, looking thoughtful. Maria felt a small spark of hope, but it was quickly swallowed by uncertainty. She did not know if her answer was enough. She could only wait. She left the office and walked through the busy streets. Cars honked and people rushed past, but she felt like she was in a bubble. The tension in her chest would not go away. She replayed the interview in her mind, wondering if she had done enough. That night she could not sleep. She checked her phone every few minutes. Finally, a message appeared. Her heart raced as she opened it. It was from the manager, but it contained only one line. We need to meet again, tomorrow. You will not believe what we have planned. Maria woke up early, her mind buzzing with thoughts. The manager's message kept repeating in her head. What did he mean by, you will not believe what we have planned? She felt a mix of excitement and fear. She knew she had to be ready for anything. She spent the morning preparing. She reviewed her notes, practiced her ideas, and rehearsed how she would present herself. She thought about J.K. Rowling, who had been rejected many times before her first book was published. Maria reminded herself that rejection did not mean failure. It only meant she had to try harder. When she arrived at the office, the manager was waiting. His expression was unreadable. He led her into a small conference room where a group of people sat. Investors and mentors from other companies were there. Maria felt her stomach tighten. This was bigger than she had imagined. She was not just being interviewed, she was being tested. The manager spoke first. We want to see your project. Tell us why it matters. Maria took a deep breath. She had spent nights building her personal project. It was simple, but it showed her skills and determination. She explained every part clearly, showing how it could help the company grow. Some people nodded. Some looked skeptical. Maria could feel the weight of their eyes on her. She thought about Elon Musk, who faced ridicule for his audacious ideas, yet never stopped. She held her ground, answering every question with honesty and confidence. Halfway through the presentation, her laptop froze. Her slides disappeared. Maria's heart jumped. The room went silent. Every doubt she had ever felt pressed against her. Should she stop? Should she give up? She remembered Thomas Edison, who had failed thousands of times before succeeding. She straightened her back and continued speaking without the slides. She explained her ideas with words, gestures, and passion. The room reacted. Some smiled, some whispered to each other. Maria could feel the tension and excitement mixed together. She spoke until her voice was steady, until she had said everything she wanted to share. When she finished, silence filled the room again. Maria held her breath, waiting. She had given everything she had, but she did not know if it was enough. She wanted to run, to hide, but she stayed. She knew she could not leave until she heard their decision. The manager finally stood up and walked toward her. His expression was calm, but his eyes held something she could not read. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small envelope. Maria's hands shook as he handed it to her. You will find what you need in here. Open it when you are alone, he said. Maria left the office quickly, clutching the envelope. Her heart raced. She wanted to tear it open immediately, but she waited until she reached a quiet corner. She held it in her hands, trembling. Her fingers shook as she tore the envelope. Inside was a single card with one sentence written in bold letters. Maria's eyes widened. It said, "Meet us tomorrow. Your life is about to change forever." Maria could not sleep that night. The message from the card kept running through her mind. Your life is about to change forever. She wondered what it meant. Was it good news or something she was not ready for? She reminded herself to stay calm. Fear would not help her now. The next morning, she dressed carefully. Her hands shook, but her steps were firm. She arrived at the office earlier than anyone else. The manager met her at the entrance. His expression was serious. He led her into a large room filled with people she did not know. Investors, mentors, and company leaders waited. Maria realized this was bigger than any interview she had imagined. The manager spoke to the group. This candidate has shown determination, skill, and courage. We want to see how she handles pressure. Maria felt her stomach tighten. She did not know what to expect. Then the manager handed her a task. She had to present her project to the group and answer questions without any notes or slides. Her mind raced. She thought of Elon Musk, who faced constant criticism for his bold ideas. She thought of Thomas Edison, who never gave up after failure. Maria straightened her back. She would face this challenge. She began presenting. Her voice was steady, her words clear. She explained every detail, showing her knowledge and passion. Some people nodded, some looked skeptical. Maria felt tension rise with every question. She answered each one honestly. She could see the doubt in some faces, but she did not let it stop her. Halfway through, the projector stopped working. The screen went black. Silence filled the room. Maria's heart raced. Every fear she had fought returned. She could see people whispering. Some looked frustrated, others amused. She thought about J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection and never gave up. Maria continued speaking without the projector. She explained everything with words and hand gestures. Her confidence grew with every sentence. When she finished, the room was quiet. Maria's chest heaved. She had given everything she had. She hoped it was enough. The manager walked toward her and smiled slightly. Then he said, "We are impressed, but this is only the beginning. We need you to take one final step. Come with me." Maria followed him through a corridor she had never seen before. The tension was unbearable. She did not know what awaited her. Every step felt heavy. They reached a large glass door. The manager stopped and turned to her. "Behind this door is the opportunity that could change your life. Are you ready?" Maria took a deep breath. She nodded. The manager opened the door slowly. What she saw made her heart stop. Maria stepped through the glass door and froze. Inside was a room filled with people, equipment, and a large display of her project. Investors and company leaders were all watching her closely. The manager smiled. "This is your chance to lead. Show us what you can do." Her heart raced, but she felt stronger than ever. She remembered all the nights she had doubted herself, all the times she had almost given up. She thought of Thomas Edison, who kept trying after failure. She thought of J.K. Rowling, who refused to stop after rejection. She thought of Elon Musk, who faced criticism yet kept moving forward. She realized she was ready. Maria began presenting her project. She spoke clearly, confidently, and passionately. She explained the vision, the potential, and the steps needed to make it successful. People asked questions, and she answered each one with honesty. She felt the tension in the room slowly change. The doubt in some faces turned to respect. The skeptical glances became nods of approval. After the presentation, the manager approached her. "Maria, we are offering you a position to lead this project. You will have resources, support, and a team. This is your opportunity to grow and succeed." Maria could not believe it. She had worked so hard, faced so much fear, and now she was being trusted with something so important. Tears filled her eyes. She remembered the small apartment, the long nights, the fear of not being enough. Now she knew she had unlocked her true value. Over the next months, Maria worked tirelessly. She led the project with discipline, patience, and determination. She faced new challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt, but she remembered the lesson she had learned. Her worth was not defined by circumstances or by what others thought. Her worth came from her courage, her effort, and her persistence. Her project became a success. Investors praised her, the company grew, and Maria gained confidence she had never known before. She even began mentoring others, helping them see their own potential. She realized that unlocking her value had not only changed her life, but could also inspire others to find their own strength. One evening, she looked out of her office window at the city below. She smiled. The journey had been hard, painful, and filled with doubt. But it had also been rewarding beyond her imagination. She had faced fear, embraced her talent, and refused to let life decide her worth. Just as she was about to leave, her phone buzzed. A message appeared from an unknown number. Maria opened it and read the words, "Congratulations on your success. We have another opportunity, bigger than anything you have imagined. Are you ready to take the next step?" Maria's heart skipped a beat. She looked out at the city lights and felt the same mix of fear and excitement she had felt at the beginning. She smiled, knowing one truth. Her journey had only just begun.